Hello everyone, my name is Savage and welcome to Sorcery Speed. This is my generic MTG series where I make custom cards for things I enjoy, and today we're playing Warframe, specifically Warframe Excalibur. Now Excalibur's abilities are the following. Passive, Excalibur deals more damage and is faster when it's equipped with a sword. Slash dash, which, well, you dash and slash, even repeatedly. If you hold the button, you can chain it. Next is Radial Blind. That's exactly what it says. You blind enemies around you in a radius for a time. Radial Javelin, same thing, but instead of applying blindness, it just damages them. And finally, Exalted Blade. It's an exalted weapon that you can wield if you cast it. It is a melee weapon that launches projectiles when you hit with it. For example, if I go away from the enemies, you can see I still reach them. That's about it for Warframe abilities. Now let's go on to the card making. Okay, now to Excalibur as a card. Let's look at the very low quality image of a color pie. I would say that Excalibur represents the order, the law, the peace, etc. So it's a white creature. But let's look at some abilities we'll be using for Excalibur. Now, as I said, Excalibur has an ability that allows him to gain a sword that shoots projectiles. So I think it's fair enough to say that he has reach. And let's go over Flying and Reach again. As in the previous video we already talked about Flying and Reach, but imagine a bird flying over you so you can't attack it. But if you have your own bird with flying or a bow, you can reach it with a bow. So a creature with flying can fly over a creature with no flying or reach and attack you directly. But it can't. Your opponent can block you with its own creature with flying or your creature with reach. Now on to the next keyword. The next keyword is First Strike. First Strike is interesting because it adds an additional damage step before regular damage step. So before regular damage step, creatures with First Strike attack. Let's see some example. We have two creatures, both of them 2/2. One ours, one opponent's. If I attack my opponent and opponent blocks with their creature 2/2, in the damage step, attacker and defender both each deal 2 damage to each other and both die. But if I had a creature with First Strike and attacked and the opponent blocked with their 2/2 creature, my knight would kill the creature in the additional damage step before regular damage step, and the knight being dead in the next damage step cannot deal damage to my knight in this case. Now let's look at some redistribution of these keywords. First Strike is primarily white, and yeah, we're going full white for our boy Excalibur. And Reach is primarily green, but because a lot of green creatures have bows and stuff, because they're like nature people. But there's some white. Like white is the third biggest Reach user. Now let's look at some knights. Balan, Wandering Knight, First Strike. Benalish Knight, First Strike. Let's not even say their names. First Strike, First Strike, First Strike. So the Knights have First Strike, and that's what I'm going for. Warframe Knight. Excalibur, blue generic 1 white, creature Warframe Knight, First Strike, Blade Proficiency. Excalibur gains +1/+0 for each equipment equipped on it that increases its power. I think it's like a good way to bring in the passive that it boosts damage of swords by 10%. And Exalted Blade, 1 generic 1 white, until end of turn, Excalibur gains reach and +2/+0. Activate only once per turn, and its power and toughness are 1/3, but obviously if you have Exalted Blade, its power and toughness is 3/3, and it has reach. I think I translated Warframe into the card pretty well this time. I had some suggestions like put in Vigilance, because it's a White Knight. White Knights also has Vigilance often, but I think it works just fine the way it is. If you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, some marks, anything, please leave them in the comments. Thank you for watching and goodbye.